Hello everyone. Welcome to our very first Thread Talk interview of 2025. I'm so excited. I feel like January lasted so long. So much has happened in the world, and I feel like it's usually like a pretty slow month and kind of depressing at times. So I'm just really excited to be out of it and like to look forward to warmer weather and just fun, exciting things that are happening soon. And I am just so happy to be here and to have you guys join us on this new year of Playful. This is going to be our second full year when we finish 2025, and our first year and a half has been amazing. Our members are great. We've had so much fun. We've had the best guest designers, and we are continue being strong. We have a really, really good guest designers joining us this year. And our first one for the year is Maria Paz she's from Chile, but she lives in Australia. And I'm so excited to talk to her. I feel like her and I have a lot in common, being women, immigrants, women, crochet lovers, Latinas. We're probably quite loud for most people, but I think we're going to get along really well. So I'm just going to bring her over and we'll get to talking. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Are you fully woken up now, or are you still kind of slowly getting there?
This is helping.
Nice.
And it's coffee, not alcohol.
I should have one of those. At least some alcohol, I think, would help me right now. Although, I don't know. If you're like me as a mom, I usually by 10 o'clock, I am dead. I will read in bed and fall asleep with my Kindle on my chest in a very depressing way. How about you? Are you one that stays up late?
Oh, I am a bit weird because by like 8 p.m. when we put our daughters to bed, I am exhausted, brain dead, but then it's like they go down and like I wake up, it's like, I have a couple hours to myself, so then like I fully wake up and then it's like past midnight and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And every night it's the same thing.
I try really hard not to do anything at that point, even though I should be very productive and be like, oh, I have 2 hours to myself. I'm like, nope, I'm done with the day.
Yeah, that's probably better than what I do, because next day I'm really tired.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get anything done, so I don't know. All right. Well, today we're just going to have a little chat about your life. I really want to get to know you, and I want to get to know about your design process and everything. For those of you watching live at this moment, please feel free to use the chat and say hello to us. Tell us where you're connecting from, and ask questions. If there's something that you would love to know about Maria, please let us know, and we would love to answer. So I would like us to tell us. I would like you to tell us a little bit more about yourself. So you're in Australia. You have kids. You just said. Do you have another job? Do you have any hobbies? What's your everyday like? Tell us.
Well, my hobby used to be crochet, so now I don't know if I have another hobby. But I'm Maria. I'm Chilean, and then so I lived in Chile for 25 years, and then it's just like, where do I begin? There's so many little stories. I was about to get married in Chile when I was 25 years old, and then I realized, no, this is not for me, and I basically escaped. and I went overseas. I went overseas for what it was supposed to be like a 6-month trip, but then one thing led to the other, and I never went back.
Oh my God.
And then I had a friend who was working on yachts, in the magazines when you see the celebrities and they're on a yacht, like I was the staff in one of those,
Oh,
so
wow, that's so cool.
Oh, I have so many stories. At the time I thought about writing a book because I had so many stories, but of course I never did.
Yeah. Where were you? Were you in Australia already?
No. So this was in Europe. So most of the yachts are in Europe all year round, and then in the European winter, some of them cross to the Caribbean. So you're just traveling, like all year long, and then in summer you go back to Europe. So we had some celebrities there, like we had Jennifer Lopez and Naomi Campbell, I do have very juicy stories, but I think that's for another time.
I know. I feel like we need to book the next one because I want to hear all of this.
How many hours do you have? And
cool.
So then, well, in this year I met an ex-boyfriend who became my ex-fiance, but he was Australian. So that's why I ended up in Australia. We moved to
Look at
Australia.
that.
And yeah, so then the relationship eventually didn't work out. But by that time I was already here. So then I just stayed, yeah. And then eventually I met my now husband. This was all in Sydney, but we moved to Canberra, where we are
Okay.
now, because his family is from Canberra. Basically, we had our eldest, we're like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. We need help.
I love that. It sounds like the third one was the charm then.
Yeah, yes, exactly, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so yeah, we ended up here. Yeah, I miss Sydney a lot, but yeah, all his family is here. His family is lovely, so it has been great. And yeah, I think
That's
that's a bit.
You have 2 kids, right?
Oh yes. So then, yeah, we had the other one 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that's it. No more.
No more for you. How old is your oldest?
6, and the youngest is 2.
That's a decent gap. Mine are 5 and 3, so they're really quite close. But I never know what's better. If it's better for them to be further away or closer together.
I don't know. I think maybe mine have like 3 years and 9 months. So like almost 4 years. I think maybe close is a bit better, but just for the parents, probably the longer you wait is a bit better. So that's why.
Fair enough. That's a crazy story. I love that. I had my crazy traveling time through Asia more than Europe, and yeah, it's fun. I feel like we should get together and write a book together or something instead.
Oh my God, yes, I'm open to it, yeah.
That's awesome. And do you have a proper, I call it a proper job as if designing is not a proper job, but do you have
a serious job? Yeah, I do have a serious job, yeah. Yeah, so I'm a journalist,
Job. Oh, really? It's not boring then.
What are you talking about? I love my job. I love it.
Really? That's good.
No, I don't. So I'm a journalist,
Okay. So you're a journalist. Tell us. Sorry.
I'm a journalist, but I'm a journalist, And then in Sydney, I started working in marketing, which I really love. But then we moved to Canberra, and Canberra, is the capital of Australia, so it's 99% government jobs, So marketing as such doesn't really exist, So it's communications, which is very close, So I work in communications, but since I had my second daughter, I work 3 times a week, so that helps a lot. And the other 2 days until last week, I was staying with my little one, but now she's studying daycare those 2 days as well. So I'm gonna work on Lola Crochets.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. And tell us about how Lola Crochets came about. Like, who taught you to crochet? Was that your own impulse? Did your parents teach you? How did you get there?
It was actually just in school a long time ago. When I was in school, we were taught how to crochet and how to knit. And yeah, I immediately like crochet more. I don't know. There's something about like having the 2 arms, like they were always up in the air, when knitting. I was never like comfy enough. I don't know. I always like more just with one. And honestly, that's all that it comes to, like I was just like, I was always uncomfortable, with the arms.
Yeah. It does feel more of a full-on thing, isn't it? Knitting, like you have 2 things and things can't fall away. And crochet is like, take your hook and you're there.
Yes. And I remember it used to bother me, that you had to like move the stitches on the needle, they were always at the top, move them, but then you had to move them again. I don't know. It wasn't for me. Anyway, but then I did a few things here and there over the years. I made a blanket, but not much. And then I think my story is very similar to a lot of people's stories. Then the pandemic came.
Okay.
And actually, we have a story with that as well. Right when the pandemic was about to start, my dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer. and he was in Chile, obviously. We were in Australia. And it was like, honestly, the week after we moved to Canberra. So we had just moved. We had all our life was in boxes and everything. And yeah, I'm told, he doesn't have much to live. So then literally the next day we flew to Chile.
Wow.
And then we landed, and literally the week later, the pandemic hit Chile. It was just starting in Australia, but not yet. And then we were stranded for 9 months. There was no flights. You know how it was.
Yeah.
So we couldn't come back. Luckily, I had actually just quit my job because it was in Sydney and we were moving to Canberra. And my husband, he was working online, so he was still able to continue to work.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were stranded there. And yeah, I had my eldest. She was like a year and a half. And I was bored. I had all this time with nothing to do. So I started crocheting. And I bought a couple of patterns. And I was like, and then like reading the patterns, I was like, I think I could do this. You know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And the main motivation was that I literally bought like 2 or 3 patterns, and then I couldn't find anything that I liked. Nothing was like exactly how I liked it. And I was like, and then I discovered some other accounts. I discovered Ali Maravillas. Do you know her?
Yeah.
She has a huge following. Loved her stuff, and I was like, oh, this is like more my stuff, Yeah, and that's how it started. I'm like, I'm just gonna give it a go. I'm gonna release one, that will have my name. It will be my little child in the world. And then you know how it is. And then like I really liked it. Oh, but I had this other idea and this other, and then the whole thing just took off.
Wow, that's so exciting. I do feel like a lot of emerging designers, the pandemic was such a huge transition from them, and like it opened so many doors to so many people. Then it kind of forced us to look inside and find things that we like to do without other people, and crochet is perfect for that.
Yeah, all crafts, I think they had a huge boom, during the pandemic. Because, yeah, everybody was in the same situation. We were just trapped at home with not much to do.
Yeah, definitely. And have you got like a goal set for Lola Crochets? Like, do you want this to be like your full-time job, or are you happy with the way it's working now at the moment?
I mean, in all honesty, I would love it to be my full-time job, but I don't know. It's just there's the fear as well, because the other one is, it's only part-time, but it's, like the money is there, how much money you're going to get, like we bought a house a couple of years ago, and oh my God, interest rates, so there's all this fear, but yes, I would love it. And I think, I don't know, I'll see what happens this year, and then maybe I'll either continue as I am or maybe take the leap. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow, that would be exciting. I keep telling everyone on the emails how I want you to quit your job and, maybe definitely stop having children so you can design more for us. Because I just love your style. I do feel like you have a very different style from a lot of people. And you like this, knit look kind of, what's the name for it? Like, it's not pretty. That's not the word that I'm looking for. Refined. That's what I'm looking for. Like, you have a very refined style that your garments look very like not store-bought, but like don't have that like handmade look that crafty kids can make kind of thing. So I really like that about your stuff, and I think you came out of nowhere and you just like create beautiful things, and everyone loves them, and I love them too. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. I love your stuff too.
Before we continue, I just want to say hi to the people that are commenting. Sheila from San Diego, Christina from Portugal, and Terry from Northern Ireland. Thank you so much for joining us. If anyone else is watching, please let us know and comment away and chat with us, okay? Now, I want to know about Lola Crochets. Why Lola? Is there a specific reason for it?
Well, my eldest is Lola. That's all it is. During the pandemic, I had one child at the time. She was Lola, so that's why the account is called Lola. And my first pattern was called Lola. I was just obsessed with it.
As you should. Fair enough. And did you make it lots of like kid stuff, or were you making garments from the beginning for adults?
Well, before I properly started with Lola Crochets, I made sweaters for her. I bought a couple of patterns, and then I started YouTube, like, and I just went into the YouTube hole, and I still haven't come out of it, like, and found all the patterns and they kind of adapted them for her. So yeah, it all started with her,
Yeah, I like that. I think that's sweet. I feel like that a lot of people do that, and I think it's nice until you have another kid. What are you gonna do about it now? Maybe you're gonna change your name, or are you gonna stick with it?
Okay, I thought about it. I feel like it's unfair for the other one. Do I change it? But no, I don't think.
Fair enough.
And my other little one has never had anything crochet from me. It's a bit sad.
I love it. Yeah, people ask me all the time if I make things for my kids a lot, and like, to be honest, I barely do because they outgrow them so quickly. And then I keep trying to make them wear them, and they're like, oh, I don't want to wear it today, and I'm just like, it hurts my heart a little bit. So I'm just like, I don't know if you're worth it.
For me, it's like they're so messy, even the 6-year-old. It's like, it's so much effort, it's expensive, it's good, like, if you're gonna, I like to work with natural fibers, and it's like, you're gonna mess it up on the first wear. It's like, no, I'm just buying something from Target. That's it.
Yeah, until they can take care of their stuff. That's funny. It makes me feel better that I'm not alone. So this is a question that a lot of people ask me because I am Mexican, and I feel like maybe it's something that applies to you. But do you feel like your heritage defines your design work or influences it in any way?
That is such a good question. I actually don't know. I feel like maybe not, just because I like very clean lines, so I don't know how it will really apply to the Chilean heritage, like, I just like the knitted look. I like clean shapes, I love texture, but just like one texture, so maybe not, maybe that's anti-Chilean. I don't know.
No, that's okay. You don't have to. So what inspires you most? Is it like fulfilling a need, like you want something and you want to make that something, or is it a movie, or...
I like making crochet modern, which it is nowadays, but I feel like when I started, I was looking through patterns. I didn't find you, obviously, but all the patterns I was looking at, they look very old, like the typical crochet magazine patterns, and I just didn't find anything that I don't know, was modern for me, like I said, I like really clean shapes, clean lines, like, that's why I love short rows, they just leave such a clean line. And I just couldn't find anything like that. So for me, it was to bring crochet to this century. Yeah,
I like that definitely. And can you think of one of your designs that kind of opened the doors for like what crochet could be like for you, or kind of started this whole movement in you of like, oh, Lola Crochets is going to be a thing? Can you think of that design?
For me, it would have been the Señorita top, which was the first design really that had like proper short rows. Like this. It has straps, but then from the straps, the rest of the top continues, and you can see like the line there. And yeah, for me, that was like a before and after. That one kicked off everything else that came.
That's nice. That's really cool that you have that thing to pinpoint, Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what would you say is your favorite part of being a designer or a crocheter in general?
The thing that gives you the best feeling for me is to see other people making and wearing their makes, and it's your design, like you brought this little thing into the world. So for me, that's the best feeling that you have. You kind of forget all the hardship and how tired you were, you forget all the bad stuff when you see that they tagging you seeing their makes. It's just, it's so lovely.
I know. In England, there's a TV program called The Great British Sewing Bee. Have you heard of it?
No, but
it's like the Great British Bake Off, but with sewing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We have that one in Australia. Yeah.
Exactly. And someone once tagged me on a picture of their TV because a contestant on the program was wearing one of my designs. And I
imagine that feeling. That's so
I almost
cool.
peed myself. I was like, I can't believe this. It's like on TV. Yeah. Obviously, I never saw it. I never found the episode. But I totally understand that feeling of like, oh my God, someone put the effort to make something that you created. It's amazing. Yeah, I love that.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Now, let's go to the other side. If there is one duty that you can remove from your designer job, what would it be?
Grading.
Really? Tell me more.
Oh, I hate math, like I'm not too bad at them, thank goodness, but I do, it will probably be grading and pattern writing, because I feel like now I've complicated my life, like I've started doing like this fake raglan thing, that is like you crochet the whole thing in one panel,
Yeah,
and now I'm
I've done
doing
that.
it as you go, and it's like, oh, I've complicated my life so much, and through the grading and now writing the pattern. For example, now I'm working on one pattern, but I just couldn't even calculate it, grade it in my mind because it was so complicated that I kind of drew it, like on an Excel spreadsheet. So now that I'm writing the pattern, I have to go back and forth because I don't know how each row, how many stitches it's going to have. I don't know anything. So for every little stitch on all 9 sizes, I have to go back to a spreadsheet and see. Okay, so it's like such a slow process, and it's like, why do I do this to myself?
That's so funny. I feel like that's my favorite part. Now, my least favorite part. Yeah, I love I'm not great at maths, but I'm pretty good at problem solving, and I just love the puzzles of coming up with those things, or like figuring out the right formula for an Excel sheet so that it can give me all the answers. And I'm a big nerd.
Yeah, I mean, when you solve the problem, it feels amazing. But while you're trying to solve it, it's terrible.
Oh, wait a minute. How does it feel though when you're trying to solve it and your kids come in through the door and want to show you a picture that they drew?
Yes, that's my life too. Yeah. I feel your pain.
I don't care about your drawing. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
And you're like, oh wow, that's so good. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I feel like being a parent is saying like, oh wow, 1,000 times a day.
When like your hand is like hurtful, from all the numbers inside. Yeah.
Like, no, I'm counting now.
Yeah. All right, now my least favorite part, and the thing that I probably suck the most at, is creating content and being out there on Instagram. How do you feel? Or
oh my god, you know what? Yes, same.
Really?
I guess the only part I really enjoy is just crocheting the sample. But I'm not good at it. Like, it just takes so much time. I don't know if people realize how much time it takes from even thinking what am I gonna post. And it happens to me. I haven't posted in 2 weeks. I need to post something now. It's like, I can't be bothered. But to be honest, now I'm not forcing the process anymore. Like when I first started with Lola Crochets, I was always like, okay, I need to post every 2 days or every 3 days, and I will force myself. And the same with working on Lola Crochets. I was forcing myself to work every night on Lola Crochets independently of how tired I was, like, because I was like comparing myself to others. They were producing so much and they were like publishing so many patterns, And then I worked like that for a full year, and then I realized I was completely exhausted, and I had like a mini breakdown where I reevaluated my whole life, and I was like, no, if I'm gonna continue with this, I'm gonna do it at my own rhythm, and I'm gonna listen to my body, because my body was telling me I'm tired, like, don't make me work. Yeah. So now I just do. I do content, or I work on Lola Crochets if I feel like it, and I've removed the guilt, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. So it has happened that sometimes I don't post in like 3 weeks to a month, which I know is not the best practice if you want to grow your account, But just now it's all about enjoying the process, independently of how slow it might be.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. And I'm terrible, and I am due a post for like a while now, and I find it really hard. So it makes me feel better that someone else feels the same way, because I feel like a lot of people feel the same way, but for some reason our businesses depend so much on social media, because we need to be seen so that people want to buy our stuff. And then instead of crochet design, you become a content creator. And
absolutely, and
that's a different job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how is your family in the whole process? Like, are they super supportive? Do you have like an Instagram husband that takes pictures for you, or are they kind of like, what are you doing?
I think we all kind of do, to be able to do this, you need someone behind the camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
my husband is super supportive, thank goodness. And yeah, he's behind the camera. Not so much nowadays. He was a lot at the beginning, but then I wasn't 100% happy with how he was taking photos. He's very tall, so the angle was always a bit like that. So I've kind of removed him from the equation now, and now he's not a photographer anymore. I just have my tripod, but he's always like with me behind all my decisions, and he sometimes, I don't know, I get offered this little opportunity with a brand, and he's like, nah, don't take it, it's not worth it, like, I'm like, okay. And yeah, so he really supports me. If I have like a lot of work, and I haven't catch up on the weekends, he'll take the girls, for half a day, and then I'll be able to work. Yeah, and all of that. So he really helps. I don't think it would be possible actually without his help.
That's good. It's important and necessary, I think, for doing something like that. For anyone doing some kind of business, as women, I feel like a lot of the responsibility comes on us to take care of the house and take care of the people around us. And then when we have a dream, it needs to take a step back, and
Absolutely.
it's not really fair. So it's important to have a partner that supports that dream for sure.
Yeah,
excellent.
Absolutely.
That makes me very happy. And now, silly question. What is your favorite crochet tool? I guess a crochet hook, but can you think of something else?
Crochet hook. Really, but I actually don't have that many tools, which, I should probably fix that, because I should have like a winder. I don't have a winder. I don't have any of those tools. Yeah, I don't. Because I know. Only until recently I started using like how do you call it, hands, like the proper one. Until now they were all like just commercial yarn, so there was no need. There was no need to do that.
For skeins, yeah.
Skeins, yeah. But now I started to use them, and I'm like, like with the whole thing on my knees, like that. So yeah,
I think I've done that.
I don't know. I've been a bit cheap until now, so I want to try to save costs to make Lola Crochets grow. So I'm trying not to buy all those things, but I think I'm going to have to. But more than crochet is like for content creation, I have the little lights, with the camera that clips on the table, and I have like a selfie one, so I think probably the clip-on light, with the camera, I think that's... In the background, a white background. I gave in and bought one of those commercial ones, and I actually really suggest all content creators to buy one of those, because it makes things look so much better. So I think that will be my favorite one.
that makes sense. In my last house where we were living a while ago, I had an IKEA table that I bought, and I bought it white just for that, so I could use it for content creation. And literally the first week I had it, I had hot glue on it, and it got stuck to the middle of it and ripped a huge piece of it. And I was never able to use it, so I had to buy some kind of cover for it as well, because I was like, this is why I bought this table.
Yeah, I know.
Now it's useless.
And also, like, sometimes with the light as well, you get all this shine, in a spot. So not all surfaces work for you. So I try lots of. I started like with paper, and then I don't know, like, I was trying not to buy the proper background, but they all had something, it was either shiny or you could see the texture. And now that I bought the proper one, it's like, oh my God, I should have done it.
Why did I wait it so long? I love it. Well, that's going to be the same for us for a winder and what's it called?
Yes, I know.
Thingy. Because they make your life so much better. When I was traveling, because last year we were traveling in Betsy, and for the first 6 months, I didn't take mine because I was like, I can live without it. And I was winding the yarn by hand. And then by the time we arrived at my mother-in-law's house, I'm like, no, I'm taking this one with me. For the next half of the trip, it's coming with me because it makes life so much better. And how about stitches? Favorite stitches?
I mean, the half double crochet slip stitch or the Yanova slip stitch, that's the one that I use in 99% of my patterns. It's a love-hate relationship because I've used it so much that at times I'm absolutely sick of it. But I just love, I love how it looks, you know?
Yeah.
And I've tried to, like, I don't know, change it for other ones that kind of give me like a similar look, and I just haven't found one that I like as much as that one.
I get it.
It'll have to be that one.
Nice. Yeah, I really like that stitch too. And it takes a while to get used to it, but once you're used to it, it's like so easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite fast once you get used to it. But there's different ways, you know, of doing it. So I was like, I don't know if you use your fingers to pull down the stitch, and but now I've seen another way where you just like twirl the hook and then go behind. And I've been trying that one, but it's so slow and I get stuck. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna continue with the fingers.
Do you get sore though? Like my fingers get a bit sore after a while from holding the yarn in the same place, and like it's obviously it's a tiny bit, but like I can't feel it sometimes. Or like if I have nails or something. Oh, I hate it.
A little bit, yeah. I get like at the end, I'm like, my fingers are a bit stiff.
It is a funny one, isn't it? Okay, now tell us about your perfect day. What are 3 things that you would love to have on your perfect day?
Kids out of the house, alcohol, crochet.
I love that. You really had that in there. Okay, I love it. Okay, perfect project then. What would you like to crochet on that day?
A sweater. I just love sweater or cardigan.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Drink. Yeah. What would it be?
Aperol spritz. That's anyone that knows me knows that. Yeah. My drink is Aperol spritz. It has been for a long time, and I don't know if that will ever change.
I hate them. Every time I go to Italy, I try them because everyone drinks them, and you know, like
you like them.
Oh, I hate them with a passion. I just cannot.
That was the drink of my wedding that we all toast to. It was like my one requirement to the banqueteers, like it needs to be an Aperol spritz.
That's funny. I just find it so bitter. I just can't get down with it.
Yeah. I just find it so fresh, you know, and it's not. It doesn't have that many calories, you know, because Prosecco doesn't have much. And Aperol spritz, I don't think it has that much. I come from Chile. Over there, everyone drinks like piscola, and pisco has like so many calories, and it's so strong compared to an Aperol spritz. It feels really light.
Yeah, and it's a very strong flavor, pisco too. I am a gin and tonic girl, especially in the summer. Give me a gin and tonic any day. Yeah, or wine. I drink wine.
I was 100% wine for a long time in my life, but it started giving me headaches, so I kind of had to like let it go. It's a shame because I still drink wine, you know, from time to time, but if I drink it too much, it gives me a headache. So it sucks because I love wine.
Have you tried vermouth? Because here in Spain they drink vermouth a lot, and I really love it now. It's like my going out drink.
No, I haven't. I think I have tried it at some stage, but I don't really drink it yet. And gin is another thing that is like a no for me.
Really? Yeah, see, that's vodka for me. I'm like, no vodka, thank you.
Oh, well, I love vodka.
There you go. Well, we can hang out and like not drink each other's drinks.
At least I know you won't steal my drink.
Yeah, exactly. That will definitely not happen with us. Great. And gets out of the house. So is your house kind of like your sacred place, or do you tend to go out and like, just go out?
No, I think house. Yeah, house. It's just a lot more comfortable. Yeah. And maybe in Sydney I would have gone out the small places where you can go, but in here, I'm in the suburbs, you know, like there's not that many places. So I think just my house being in the backyard, you know, lovely.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's important that our home is comfortable. I'm also a homebody. Like I like to stay at home. It's
Well, my dream actually will be to get one of those. Have you seen this companies that sell little sheds, but they're like a separate room? You know, its own little house. Oh,
sorry, love, I lost you. I'm
can
so
you hear
sorry.
me now?
What were you saying? Yes, I can.
Yeah, that's fine. I was saying that my dream is to buy one of these. I don't know if you've seen them, like little sheds that are like its own little house. You know, you can either add the bathroom or not, but sometimes it's just an office that you have separately from your house in the backyard. They're so cute. I would love to get one as my office, and because you kind of step out of the house, you'll feel like going to work almost, and be there. And then when I want to escape the girls, I just go there.
100%. Like in my house, we home educate, so the kids are here all day, and I'm here all day, and my husband and I share the workload. So he works 2 days a week, and I work 3 days a week, and but I can't leave. Yeah, but I can't leave the house, right? So I would love to be able to not go far, just outside.
Yeah.
But out of the house. But not.
No, I mean, they're not that expensive. You can get like from 6 to 10 grand, Australian dollars. You can get one over here, so it's doable.
Yeah, little housey at the back. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I love
that. That's awesome. Okay, another fun question. If you could acquire any skill at all in the world, what would it be? What would you choose to learn? Like in an instant, like you didn't have to study, you didn't have to like practice anything, like anything. If you just like said, I want to be like a judo master.
I would, you know what I would love? Random ice skating. I would love that.
Very random.
Very random. I used to rollerblade when I was a teenager, long time ago. But me and my friends, me and 2 other best friends, we were really good at it, if I may say so. Like we used to do all the little tricks, go around the bottles and jumping and all of that. And so I would love to pick that up again. And on ice, it just looks so pretty. The things that they do, I would love to do that.
It's dangerous. Like I fall all the time, and I just feel like there is no way I'm gonna make it alive if I ever try to.
Yeah, it is dangerous. Like years ago, before I had my second child, I kind of tried to pick that up again. Actually, right before, when I was pregnant, but I didn't know that I was pregnant. I bought this I was like, I'm going to start rollerblading again. I was good, and I used to love it so much. And I bought these really expensive rollerblades. And I even had like a really bad fall and everything. And I was pregnant at the time, but I didn't know. So then I kind of had to they're still there in my closet. I've used them a few times since then, but I just don't have the time, sadly. But I would love to pick up those skills again.
That's cool. I like that. Ice skating. A very good answer. And another question, a bit more serious. What do you think is the biggest lesson that you have learned since you started designing for like a job to sell your patterns? It could be anything. It can be related to social media or customer service or your own personal growth.
For me, what is something that I already said, not to compare yourself to others and work at your own pace, and just give yourself some grace and be kind to yourself. For me, that will be the biggest one, because social media is difficult. You see all these creators that they create amazing content. Like, how did she do that video? Like, how do you, all the patterns. Oh my God, she's releasing patterns all the time, and I can barely do one in 6 months,
Yeah.
So you always tend to compare yourself to others, and you stop having fun. That's what happened to me, like after that little breakdown that I had, I was like, I started this because I love it so much, and I was having so much fun, but now I'm not having fun. I'm freaking exhausted, like I'm always self-doubting myself. So you just have to let that go and go back to basics, enjoy your work. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. And as long as you're having fun, that's why you do it.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. I feel like the whole, like I was saying earlier, like, do you have a real job or more like a boring job? It's because we all have to work for money, right? We have to make ends meet. But like this thing that we've started is because we want to brings us joy, to crochet, to create something new. And the moment that you make it not fun, then we need to change something. I agree.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, like, to be able to do this job, to crochet, you do it 100% because of the feeling that it gives you, the passion that you have for it, more than the money. Like, we need the money, obviously, but I don't think anybody's going to get super rich from selling crochet patterns, So your motivation is your love for it. So you need to maintain that, because what happened to me was also that my creativity and motivation went down the drain, you know, because of the exhaustion and all of this pressure that I was putting on myself. So maintaining that flame, you know, is essential. Otherwise, like, you won't be able to continue working on what you love.
Yeah, I love that, the flame part.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about your design process, though, because you said like you take a while to design something. Are you one of those that swatches loads before you even start making something? Are you one of those that just makes things and then figures it out how you made it?
When I first started, I would just make the sweater and then figure out how to do it for the sizes. But nowadays, no, I first, before even the swatch, I do like it's not even a swatch, I just crochet this tiny little thing to see, for example, if I'm using short rows, to see if I like how the stitches look with the short rows, for example. And lots of ideas die right there, you know, because I make them and I'm like, no, I don't like how it looks. I try to tweak it. If I reach the conclusion that I don't like how it looks, 0.5% of my ideas die there. And then if I like it, then I go for the swatch. I do a swatch and then I start grading. So I grade everything right there before I make like a single stitch, you know, of the sweater or cardigan. And then, so it feels like long, you know, because half of the time, because this is crocheting like vertically, I feel like it's still fairly new. Lots of people are doing it now, but you know, compared to the most traditional part of crochet. So there's lots of things that I'm figuring out that I don't know how you do it. You know, I kind of need to discover it. So I feel like it takes me a long time. Finally, when I grade it and I start crocheting and having fun.
Yeah. Well, we should get together someday. We have some questions and, you know, we can like share ideas. Because I remember the first time I did my very first vertical one, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get to this? And then once you kind of get the hang of it, it's just, it kind of clicks, doesn't it? It's that moment when it clicks and you're like, oh my God, I can use this and that and to do that. But I totally get it. That's cool. And what was the other question I was going to ask you? How long do you think it takes you from your idea to a pattern then? Just like roughly.
Well, if it is like pattern launch, 6 months, I reckon. Nowadays. It also like it's difficult to know because I never have like a full day. I have like, okay, I have an hour and a half now. I have half an hour here after I put the girls to bed. If I'm not completely exhausted, it's like, okay, 2 hours there, you know? So I feel like it takes me a long time. I don't know, grading maybe 4 days to a week, you know, like to fully be, okay, this is ready, you know? Crocheting sometimes not that long, 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And writing the pattern, it will be like a couple of weeks as well, because like I've seen other ones saying it takes me 3 hours to write the pattern. I'm like, oh, I wish it would take me 3 hours. No, it probably like a week, a couple of weeks, just because I have only gaps, you know. So I do a little bit today. And the problem is when I start working on it again, I don't remember what I've done. So I kind of have to look back to the spreadsheet. So then I lose another hour, you know, to catch up. I'm like, okay. So it's tedious. It's a tedious process. But you kind of forget when you launch it, and then you're like, oh, I want to do it again. It's like having a baby, you know, like you forget the sleepless nights. Yeah.
That is so true. Do you think like the average crocheter that buys our patterns knows how much work goes into them?
No, I don't think so. Absolutely not. I remember one time I had someone on Etsy, someone that I think she may have bought the señorita top, you know, that one, and it's all with yarn over slip stitch. And she couldn't make the stitch, I think, and she was saying, can I change the stitch? Can I do just the normal half double crochet? I was like, I mean, you can, but it will be a bit wider because the half double crochet is like taller, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, can you just change the pattern for that stitch instead? And I was like, she obviously didn't realize, you know, I will have to grade it all again, change the whole, like, no.
No.
So I think people definitely don't realize how much work it is.
No, I don't think so either. And do you ever crochet things for fun? I feel like this is not something that a lot of us do. Do you do that?
Sadly, no.
No.
It takes me so long to finish a pattern that I know that if I crochet something for fun, it's like it's gonna take more from my next pattern. So no, I mean I've done, I don't know. Last year I did a little beret, what they say, for my daughter.
Right.
But that was out of desperation because she needed a beret and I couldn't find any, and I just did it in one night. So yeah. So no, I would love to. I bought some patterns that I'm like, one day I'll make this. It's so gorgeous, and I never do.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
fair enough. Well, I find it frustrating sometimes when I'm in between like pattern writing and my next project, or just like those gaps sometimes in between projects that I can't continue with this project because I need to take a picture or I need to whatever, and I'm not ready for the next one because I haven't graded it. And then I like to have something in between because then I can't just sit and watch TV without crocheting.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's
what
so
are you doing?
The same happens to me. Like if I'm like, I'm gonna watch a movie and I'm not gonna do something with my hands, it's like I'm wasting time. Like
yes, it
so
feels
weird.
like that. I only do it if my husband like agrees to scratch my head the whole time. I'm like, I'm gonna lie on your lap and you will scratch the head out of my head because I am not wasting 3 hours watching a movie without crocheting unless there's something for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. I love head scratches as well. I try to force mine, but like he complains, I can't feel my hand.
He falls asleep within 5 minutes, but I'm like, at least I'm here.
And I'm like, and then he wakes up and then he continues.
Same. But that's the only reason. So what I like to do anyway for those types is to have like a pair of socks. Usually, like I like knitting socks. So I just I'll start a new pair of socks that I just take everywhere whenever I'm like in between projects. And it helps me just kind of feel creative without the need of it being my job.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that. Because
I completely get it because we start because it's something that we love and it's a hobby, and then it becomes kind of like your job or my part-time job, and then you never do it for fun anymore. Like it's sad.
It's true. It is sad. Okay, so tell us a little. We're running out of time, but tell us a little bit about Ola, the design that we're gonna have on Playful for a bit. So it's one of your oldest designs, right?
Yeah. I did a couple of years ago. It's super simple. You need to know the basic stitches, but the pattern does come with lots of videos, so you will see there how to make the stitches. But it's just you create these little waves. It's done vertically, like all of my patterns or most of my patterns, and you just combine like slip stitch, half double crochet, double crochet, and triple crochet, and that's your wave. You go up and down. And it's super fun, but it's once you know the stitch combination, which is really easy, it's quite meditative. So I think anybody can do it. It's very simple, but it gives this really nice texture, and it looks a lot more complicated than what it is.
It is, yeah. How about yarn tips? Any suggestions for what yarn people should choose if they choose to make it?
So officially the yarn that I use is worsted, but it's actually a really thin worsted. At the time I bought it thinking that it was DK actually, and then I realized, it's right on the limit. So a thick DK or a thin worsted will do. As always, you just need to match the gauge and you'll be good to go.
Excellent. Yeah. I feel like that I'm asked that question a lot, like, can I use a different yarn? It's like, just do the gauge, man. Like, just take care of it.
If it works on the gauge, it will work, Yeah.
Excellent. Perfect. That's great. Well, I'm so excited to have Ola. We've already had quite a few downloads, and I think people are really excited. And we're so excited about your class, too. So we know you as, this knit look genius. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be sharing at our class.
So I'm going to be talking about that knit look crochet. So there's so many stitches and so many stitch combinations that can give you that knit look. So I'm going to show you my favorite ones, and we're going to talk about short rows as well, how to create that knit look with short rows.
Awesome. I'm so excited about that. So that's going to be next weekend, right? And I do have the right date that time.
Yes, so that is my Saturday night. So I'm going to be very tired.
Yes, and for us,
and it will be your Saturday morning. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, as long as you don't look like me when it's this late at night, I think
I'm going to be drinking like this one again. So I won't be able to sleep after the class, but that's okay.
Well, you get a lot of adrenaline doing classes. You know, I always get really, really hot and sweaty whenever I'm talking on the camera.
Yeah.
Is there anything else going on in your life? Any new patterns releasing? Anything exciting that you want to tell us about?
Well, my life is not too exciting, sadly. I'm just a mom. No, I'm working on a pattern at the moment. But you guys, well, if you follow me on social media, you'll have seen it. It's just like a fake raglan, sideways raglan, like I call it. And I'm just working on that one. It's a tee, but I'm thinking about making it with long sleeves as well. So I'm working on that one, which is really easy to make, but it has been complete hell for me to grade and to write. That's the one that I had to draw all the sizes.
Oh my God.
It's complete hell, but it will be easy for those who want to make.
Okay, there you go. We will appreciate your work then, I hope. That's impressive. I think I remember seeing it. And they are proper raglans, by the way. Don't minimize your work. They are raglan.
Well, it's not like your traditional top-down raglan,
Yeah, but it's
just a sideways raglan. Yeah,
for sure. All right, well, we're going to finish off with something that I really enjoy doing, and it's a this and that. I don't usually have time for this, but I'm so glad we do for today. So I'm going to tell you two things, and you have to tell me which one is your favorite, all right?
Okay.
So starting with a fingering or worsted weight yarn?
Worsted.
Really? Oh,
wow. Like fingering, love the look, but it's a lot of work. Worsted is just faster. So I'll take it.
It is. Have you ever worked with like bulky weight or something like that?
On my first design, I didn't understand that much about yarns and everything. So I did with a bulky one. But I thought it was thinner, but it wasn't. Later, after I released the pattern, I was like, oh, this is actually bulky. But I haven't since. I feel like that's maybe a bit too thick. And maybe with worsted, you also need to be careful because it could be really thick, which I don't like. But as long as you use heavy, very heavy, yes. But if you just need to know how to do it. A large hook, the fiber matters a lot. So you can get beautiful things with worsted. Yeah,
that is true. I did a pattern last year using bulky weight yarn. It was my very first one, and I just loved how quick that was worked. It took me 2 days to finish the jumper. I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. So I
think I know which one you're talking about. And it's with one of these blown yarns, which are very blown yarns. Favorite yarns in the whole world because it doesn't matter how thick they are, they're always going to be super light. So I love them.
It's amazing. Have you tried blown cotton yarns? Because I don't like working with cotton because it can be quite heavy.
Yeah,
but like
I have. Actually, the Ola it's with a blown yarn, but it's a mix with cotton and I guess merino, one of those. And it's a bit thicker, not as light, but I love the texture that it gives you.
It's so lovely, right? Yeah. No, I'm a big fan too. All right, color work or lace?
Color work.
Really? Okay. I don't see much.
I've never done anything with lace. Yeah, it's something that I'm yet to try.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably lovely because of how fast I'm imagining it works. Like when you. I don't know. You told me, but I do love color work. Yeah. But you're creating, mixing the colors. Yeah, it's lovely.
Nice, awesome. Okay, TV or audiobooks when you crochet, or books if you're.
TV. Yeah. TV. I've tried audiobooks. I don't know. I'm a very visual person, although it's hard when you're crocheting. So I'm like. You're always a bit lost with what's going on on the screen, but I'm just too used to it. The key is to watch something that it doesn't require much attention, whether you can not look for even a couple of minutes, and then you come back to it and you know what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. My husband reads to me whenever there's text, like, there's always like a little text at the beginning of the movie telling you what, oh, it's set in France or whatever. He just like reads it to me now. That's so true. How about crafting indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors, but probably just in my house, but outdoors in the backyard, like by the table, in the terrace. Lovely.
Nice. If you have a comfy chair, that's important, isn't it?
Yes, which I don't. I don't have a comfy chair, but
you should.
No, yeah, I should. But when I'm in the house, which is 99% of the time, I crochet a lot in bed, and I'm just used to it, and I find it so comfy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, or just on the couch, and I work a lot in bed as well, like. Not on my pajamas, like on top of the bed, but
it's just...
I guess it's not great for your posture, but I'm really used to it. And just with my knees up, the computer there, and I work a lot like that.
Really? Oh God, I can't do that anymore. I used to sit on the floor a lot for crocheting, like when I would go to parks or whatever, but I just can't. My back, it kills me. I'm too old now.
That's why. My back is starting to hurt as well.
Yeah.
You start noticing your ears.
Yeah, I know, right? How about snacks or drinks?
Snacks. Anything with chocolate or caramel.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate or caramel. Love it.
Nice. I like that. How about morning person or night owl? You kind of told me a bit, but
no, I've never been a morning person. Now with kids, you're kind of forced to, but no, definitely not. And like I said before, no matter how tired I am, like I'm dying by 8 p.m. and then I just like wake up when the kids go to bed. So definitely night person.
That's funny. I'm like not a night person nor a morning person. It's quite depressing. I'm not very productive. When my kids wake up.
I think you are very productive. Everything that you have done. I was looking at Playful yesterday, and I'm so impressed. It's amazing.
Thank you. My husband does a lot. We bought my kids this clock that has a sun and a moon, and we set up the sun to come out of 7:20, and they'll wake up at 6:30 every day. And we'll just send them out. We're like, nope, the sun's not out. Go back to your room.
Oh, that's so good.
they just have to.
That's so good. I bought one of those lamps. I mean, with red light, green light, for my youngest, because she was horrendous. She was one of those babies that would never sleep.
Yeah.
It never did anything. I used it until today because it has the shusha. But no. That said, like today, she woke up at 10 to 7. Like nowadays, she's waking up like 7, sometimes even 7:30, which is like unthinkable a year ago,
Yeah. Oh, that's great. You should take it. Yeah. Sometimes my kids.
Oh, no. Like I really appreciate it now.
Yeah.
It's like,
for sure. Ice cream or cake, Maria?
Both. I love everything sweet. Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah. But probably ice cream. Yeah, I do love ice cream.
Yeah, like Secret Island style. If you can only have one of the two, I would take ice cream too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Running or yoga? Or
none. Absolutely none. No. I hate running. I did it last time I did it. I think I was 15 years old. And I've tried yoga and just, I don't know, it's just you have to stay still for too long. I don't know, like, might be a misconception, but no. I like body pump. That's my favorite one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like to move all the time, to be forced to move, because otherwise I won't move,
Yeah, fair enough. I like that. All right, well, I think we're going to finish off here, Maria. It's been so nice talking to you. I knew we would get along, and I've had so much fun chatting. So please, everyone who's watching, head to playful.com to get the Lola Cardi by Maria, Lola Crochets, and head to her Instagram, follow her, go to her website. Where do you have your patterns, by the way? Yes, tell us, please.
I have my own website now. I launched it, I don't know, a couple of months ago last year, so it's fairly new. So all my patterns are there in US dollars. Otherwise, if you have another currency, Etsy, that's where all of my patterns have been since the beginning, and also Ravelry.
And your website is?
LolaCrochets.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Maria. It was so lovely meeting you. And
thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun. It has been great.
Good. I hope you have a lovely day. And we will see you next week for your class, yeah?
See you soon. Sweet dreams.
Yes, I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.